I've been working with people for a number of years, and the one thing that people always ask me is, how do I make sales easy to understand, and how can I break the sales process down? Well, for me, sales, in my opinion, is broken into two very simple systems. It's either your mechanics or your mentality. And mechanically coming in and actually getting good at sales is very different from mentality, and they shouldn't be confused. When you come into sales, fundamentally, I find a lot of people mechanically know their product, and product knowledge is very important to learn. They know exactly what they're talking about. They know their product, and then you can apply some very simple mechanical processes such as a sales presentation. The sales presentation itself is very mechanical by nature, and we'll teach you a 5-step system. And once you work that system, you've actually got that system. And I see people all the time do sales or not do sales based on their ability to work that simple sales process. Very mechanical. If you're a great student, you can come and actually learn these very simple systems and processes. But I've also seen people go out, work the system, and not do sales. And that's because the mentality is not there. It's so important when in sales that you have a fantastic mentality. You have a positive, here it comes, the word attitude. If you haven't heard that word before, it's not your emotion. And I just want to make that point clear. An attitude is not an emotion. An emotion, or now emoji, is something that people become really aware of. I think on a day-to-day basis, when you're sending text to people, you write a text and you go, oh, hold on, that seems a bit aggressive. I know, smiley face, that makes it okay. And so often we actually put our emojis down and we actually start thinking about how we feel an awful lot. Well, as salespeople, it doesn't matter how you feel, it's what mentality people are feeling from you. Inside my emotions, I might be sad, but I'm actually projecting a positive attitude to people. If your mentality is good and that attitude is actually positive, people can sense it, people can read it. And people are very intuitive, and nowadays people are more intuitive with what's going on and what's happening to somebody else. And it's really important when actually making either a sales call or communicating with someone that you actually set yourself up in a really good mental state. Nowadays, people talk a lot about being in a good flow, they're feeling a good mood at the moment. I feel really good about things. Well, there's no surprising when you actually feel in a good mood that suddenly the sales happen. Try closing a sale when you feel in a bad mood and then see what happens. Well, in order to be successful in sales, you've got to combine both. There's no point feeling really positive and just going out there and just winging the sales presentation because you haven't followed a system. It's really important that you combine both. I've seen people with great attitudes not do sales. But I've also seen people who know the system not do sales. You've got to combine them both together. Combining a good mechanical system combined with a positive attitude wins every single time. People have often asked me that I've struggled with my attitude on a day-to-day basis, lethargic, not feeling happy or not positive or not motivated. Well, the simple thing for me around mentality is actually setting yourself some goals. Sometimes really short-term goals, like I just want to talk to some customers. I just want to get my presentation out to people. Combining mechanical to your mentality actually works. I just want to get to my close. I just want to ask them for their business without a distinction on whether they actually say yes. So often people look for the yes, where more often they're actually going to get a no. Stop looking for the no, stop looking for the yes, maybe look for the no. So something really mechanical, for example, working towards getting more no's will actually make you feel positive. My goal is to get 10 no's. Woohoo, I got 10 no's. I didn't get a yes, but I got 10 no's. Well, something simple like breaking your day down, setting short-term goals always helps work towards, achieving better sales. What mentality is not your emoji, your emotions. Nowadays, we are a lot more in tune with our emotions and all the things that are actually impacting us on a day-to-day basis. And a lot of people feel very emotional through things that happen to them. And no doubt, if you checked out on your phone and maybe do this whilst you're doing this, pull out your phone and look at the emojis you've used. If your emoji this morning has been a big brown one, we know what that one is, an unhappy face, a heartbrokenness, we know you're probably not feeling very good about yourself. But these things happen to every single one of us. We're human beings and we're very emotional beings. And salespeople especially the good ones, you're very emotional. It's really important to make sure though, you're channeling all these emotions in a really positive way. And what happens on a day-to-day basis, there's only one emoji that people want to buy from. And that's this guy here, the big smiley one. And that's the one that people need to see. But more importantly, they don't need to see it, they need to feel it. You give out people a vibe, an aura, happens when selling, when communicating. And a lot of people say, but I'm over the phone. Well, it actually happens through your tone. If you're feeling good and you're choosing to show people a positive attitude, they can sense it over the phone. Irrespective of what's ever happening to your day, you can still turn that on. And attitude is something you can turn on. To get yourself into the flow, to get yourself into the zone, do whatever you gotta do, whether it's literally before you make that sales call, get yourself feeling good about yourself. What are the voices that you're listening to? More often than not, salespeople, we're good at hearing the voices. One's got a little pitchfork here, the devil, and one's got a little halo. One's telling you how amazing you are. Are you listening to the positive voices or are you listening to the negative voices? If you're listening to the positive ones, invariably you've got that great big smile on your face, and invariably you're actually going to be in a point of flow where people will say yes to you. If you're there and you're not feeling good about yourself, if you're not feeling positive, it's a lot harder to make those sales calls and actually convince people to say yes.